We're continuing on from the last chapter, the Mixer 1. Here we have the mute and solo buttons. Mute stops the sound on that track, but allows you to hear all the other tracks. The solo button mutes all the other tracks and lets you hear just the one you're soloing. Sometimes you can have a whole bunch of tracks soloed and muted, and it can be confusing trying to bring all the tracks back to normal. This won't be the case if Enable Solo on selected tracks is turned on in the preferences. But if it isn't, you can get confused when you have a ton of tracks with various mutes and solos. You can use the Deactivate Solo and Mute buttons on the far left of the mixer to solve this problem. The Listen button routes the channel to the control room, which we'll discuss in the control room chapter in level 3 of this series. You can also deactivate the Listen on all of the channels by selecting this button here. The next two buttons are used for read and write automation. This is also covered in level 3 of this series. You have controls on the far left to activate or deactivate read and write automation for all of the tracks. The E button, or the Edit Channel Settings button, pops up the channel settings window. There are two ways to move to other tracks without closing, picking another track, and reopening this window. You can choose the track you want to view by pressing the triangle at the far top right of the window and selecting the track, or by pressing the up and down arrows on your computer keyboard. Remember the Record Enable and Monitor buttons when we recorded audio? Well, here they are again. The three buttons in the middle are for bypassing inserts, EQ, and sends. You can press the same buttons here and here, but having it on the channel strip is very convenient. Let's play this audio file and change the EQ. You have 4 EQs that you can turn on: 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can grab the EQ points and move them freely. You can also be more precise with the knobs below, or by typing in the desired gain or frequency. There is also the Q setting at the bottom that allows you to set the amount of curve on the EQ slope. To change the Q setting when moving the EQ around with your mouse, hold down Shift. To restrict the movement to just frequency, hold down Alt. And to restrict the movement to gain, hold down Control on the PC or Command on the Mac. You can change the type of EQ for each of the EQs. This button allows you to recall built-in presets, and you have the ability to create your own. To bypass your EQs, click this button here. This is the same as pressing this button as we explained earlier. The green light here lets you know that the EQs are on for this channel. When you have a lot of channels in the mixer, seeing which channels have EQ on them quickly comes in handy. Inserts can be added and sends can be used for send effects or as extra outputs like headphone monitors. See the Advanced Mixing and Effects chapters in Level 2 of this series for more. EQ is also explained in depth in Level 2 in a chapter called Advanced EQ. For now, that should get your feet wet and get you up and started for mixing.